Hello and welcome. Today we'll briefly walk through the latest development in device regulatory approval in Algeria. This has been introduced under Executive Decree number 26-97 of January 31st, 2026, with a focus on what has really changed from the previous requirement. So what's new? One of the most significant aspects of this decree is the establishment of a unified and clear framework for equipment approval. It now explicitly distinguishes the role of the two key authorities, namely the National Frequency Agency or ANF, responsible for the radio aspects, particularly in the context of private networks, and the regulatory authority ARPCE, which oversees all equipment connected to the public telecommunication networks, whether these equipment are wired or wireless. This clarification is critical as it removes the previous overlaps and uncertainty in determining the applicable approval pathway. Moving on, another welcome improvement is the introduction of a unified file. Both administrative and technical documentation are now standardized, meaning the same dossier can be used across ANF and ARPCE procedures. And the submission gets better with the documents and approval process being fully digitalized. The submission is now handled through an online platform. For international applicants, for example, this means the shipping of the original wet sign, stamped hard copies they used to do for certain documents in the past has been removed. This makes things easier in terms of documents requirement for Algeria type approval submissions. Now on labeling. Labeling requirement itself is not something new in Algeria regulations. What changes is that with this new regulation, all type approval equipment must bear a standardized label that is defined in the regulation. This contrasts with the previously loosely defined labeling requirement, which did not specify a standard label. Sample requirement also is not something new. What has changed is that the regulation provides more detailed guidance on the sample submission and the time frame of the sample submission for both locally supplied and imported samples. One more important point is the certificate validity. Algeria type approval certificate validity has been extended to 5 years, more specifically from 3 to 5 years. The certificate is not nominative anymore and can be used by all importers of the same approved device. Certificate issued under the previous regulations remain valid until they expire. As a quick recap, we can say this new decree has introduced the following noticeable changes: a clear division of responsibility between ANF and ARPCE, a unified application dossier, a digitalized process, a new standardized labeling obligation, a detailed guidance for sample submission, and an extended certificate validity. As a final note, all stakeholders must take these changes into consideration in their approach with Algeria type approval. Thank you for watching, and of course, reach out to Elios should you require more details. Thank you very much.